Hello, hello. Here we go again. Still working on things here. Yeah, I kind of, apparently I went offline for a bit. So, yeah, that was the thing. Huh. Let's see. Workspace. Fine. 233. And I used. Which items here should be removed? Let's see. What did that do? Did that actually do anything? Okay, so we got something. It didn't. It didn't change any. It didn't get rid of the image, which is good. Let's go see what my. Still says V4. And so let's delete this. I'm going to go back up here, and I'm actually going to go to the gateway. I'm going to get rid of both of these, just so I can see what it does. Delete. And delete. Hopefully this will work, not choke. It says saved. All right, so it still created play 1 v3 using that ID. Now let's go see what the database looks like. Still 4. All right, so that's correct. Where is the version, though? Created at. All right, so got a little bit of a problem still. We're still not 100%. Huh, okay, that didn't work. Okay, so things are looking better, but still not quite right. Get rid of that. Let's see what it does. V4. Okay, so we don't have a version field, which is what I thought we put in. That was the impressed upon me thing. Play image is back on the top. Name. All right. Yeah, we still have definitely some issues. I don't see the version going in here, and I don't see a couple of things aren't happening here. Okay, so things are looking better, but it's still not quite right. Now update is happening. but version field has not been added to DB, and so the record updates in the DB, there is no indication of change. Otherwise, no version, no updated at. In fact, created at in the DB is showing as null. So we're still not 100%. Even though I deleted the play, tried to regenerate it, it didn't quite create a new one. So I would have thought deleting it would have. It could be that I need to create a brand new play. Oh wait. Oh, you know what? That's true. I didn't even think about that. I probably need to stop this. Go run dot. Let's try this. It is quite possible that I didn't actually let it put the new code in. Let's try this. Let's see what happens. Delete. All right, now let's try it again. All right, now, okay, all right, now we got some potential. The value changed here. This is probably nothing. Let's go back to the, go back to the database. Refresh here. Created at, seconds, okay. Formations, play1, v2. I'm a little worried about the version though, because I kind of said I didn't want a V on the ID. Here's version, oh, we do have a version 2 on there though. All right, let's see what happens when I go 2. Just change this to a 2. We'll hit refresh here. Version did not increment, even though I changed it. So wait, let's refresh again. Did it change the title? No, it did not. Oh wait, it does say 3. Did not change that. Now let's go see. Oh, I did go to version 4. I don't know why I jumped to 4 again. Should have just changed to 3, but could be because I did 2 things. Let's go see what it did here. I do need the image. The image still says V2 though, which I don't know if I even care about that. I mean, why would the image even need that ID? I mean, really, you're just changing the value. You're just changing the value. I mean, it's like even if you change the image, whatever it is, the image is the image is the image, you know. We should just replace it. All right, I think we're okay. It is changing it. I still am not sure why it's changing it twice. Let's go back over here. Now it's got rid of it. And it still says 2, but we were at 6. I don't know why version is incrementing twice though. I think it's because it's creating the image and we get 2 updates, because we get the update of the text and then it goes through. And I don't have load to test, so I'm not going to worry about it right now, but it is incrementing a little fast. It's not version 6. This is like version 3. And I got to figure out why it's incrementing so fast, but at least it's not changing my ID, so my ID can be referenced correctly. And it matches now, V1, V2, V2, okay. Why do we even have a V on there if it's not going to change? That's probably true. Let's deal with that. Since we have a version field now and updates no longer alter the ID or the play image URL, though I thought we were still updating that, I don't think it is necessary. We still have a couple of issues. One, why do we even have the underscore V number at all on the ID or the image URL, the play image URL, play image URL, if it is never going to change, and 2, the version is still incrementing twice when well, you know, I'm going to hold off on this one because I think the issue there could, well, well, it is updating. I think we have a sync problem though there. Should not have that in the future, but I think the problem is we're not pulling the play ID back. And so when it goes to do the update for the second part, to the version number in the DB record is incrementing twice with each update. I am guessing we are somehow calling the update 2 times. I'm not sure how we can adjust this. Once for the data / layout save, and once for the image update. Perhaps we correct this to not increment during the image update, so that perhaps we correct this to not increment during the image updates, since every update / add will include an image update. Consider that call just part of the original. All right, let's see if we can get this a little cleaner. So I do have a good image, a good play here. I'm going to create some more. Just a few more so I can have them linked somehow. I don't think I have a way right now that these plays get added to a particular user though. So what I need to do is figure out a way to add some of these plays to the user. Because right now you can see there is no, there's no user link, but that's okay. I'm going to have a reference to these because I'm going to have a bunch of plays in the system, and the plays are just the plays. They don't belong to a user. No matter what happens, even if I allow the play editor, what I'm doing is I'm going to allow people to submit plays, and then maybe I can create something that has a reference to the user just so that they know that it was their play creation, but they'll submit them. And if I ever allow that, all about getting things nice and clean. You know, it's funny how as this gets bigger and bigger, I would dread more and more doing this code if I wasn't using AI, because I know what I want and what I need to change. But we're getting into a lot of code lines and a lot of stuff, and being able to keep track of all that would be crazy talk, man. You definitely have to. I think you definitely have to take a more linear approach. It's like you master, you complete, you totally nail down one thing at a time. Bouncing around would not work with if you were doing a software. If I was doing this on my own with no AI assistance, I would have to just like, okay, everything I do is make the play editor work 100%. It's going to do everything I need it to do. It's going to be perfect and beautiful. And then I go do something else. I can't just go, okay, I have enough play editor for today. Let's go do playbook. Let's go do game plan. Let's go do Unity. Let's go do these different things. Because I can come back to this later. Because eventually you're going to have so much code and so many things going on, you're not going to be able to remember where everything is. And I think that's where things kind of go, gets out of hand. Save play. Okay, so what are we doing here? So we're going to get rid of that. Generate simplify file name using play ID without version and file name. Remove any legacy version suffix from the ID for the file name. Okay. Use current timestamp as a version for cache busting. For cache busting? For cache busting only. The backend will handle adding version info to the database. All right. Looks good. All right, so now we got to try to break this down again. Control C. Go run. Build this back up. And let's see. We can delete this again. And then go here. Delete. And then go back here, hit update. And then we're going to go back here, here, refresh, here, here, here. Still says V2. But play one, PNG. Okay, so we're good there. Looks good. Nice reference there. Version is still going to be version 1, which is fine because it created a brand new one. And it didn't get all out of whack. We actually stayed on it. Although this doesn't say V. I don't know why the ID has a version number on it, but I'm a little worried about that. Still says V2. Because if it changes the ID, I'm in trouble. It does say play 1. We're good. I only need that. I would rather it be a little bit more, you know, some extra numbers in there, like 001. I don't know. Because there's going to be a lot of them. But I don't know. Did it actually populate? I didn't see. Did it actually populate the created at? I think it did. Created at. Yeah, created at's good. It doesn't have an updated at or updated by or any kind of change to it, but oh, it does. It has updated at. Okay, so we have updated at and the version. Okay. And this probably increments now when I do this, I hope. And we go refresh. Yep, version 2. Hopefully it did not change my ID. Yes, it did not change my ID. Perfect. All right, so we'll go ahead and dump that again. Update, because I don't need that on my play. Okay, so we're good for that. And we're not over incrementing. I still don't like that we have version on my ID. I don't know why it's putting versions on my ID. I don't know how to, I want to get rid of that. Like to pad the ID number with 2 leading zeros. With leading zeros. I'll never have 1,000 plays, so I figured 3 is probably plenty. 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's just gonna look better as I get more, and my numbers get to be consistent. Hopefully, I'm not gonna tag out my my GitHub. Because I did do that this morning. I think I was being throttled by GitHub Copilot because I think I was having to do some pretty big updates and it wasn't going too well. Well, it wasn't that it wasn't going well. It was just a big update and it was starting to get ugly. So I go ahead and try it one more time to see if it stops prefixing with a version number. All right, so that means going up here. Just while I have the play up, it's just easy. Delete. You know what? Oh, you know what? Never mind. I don't think, oh shoot. You know, it probably stopped. I probably messed it up. Shoot. I'm asking it, well, at least we're putting the padding. Problem is, I think I kind of messed up the ID. The ID is stuck at V2 because I have a V2 ID on this already and it's trying to pass it in. And I think it's probably got problems with that, and I think that is probably what's going on. So let's stop playbook again. I forgot this play now has an ID, and I think that is where things are tripping up. Yeah, see, it's doing this. That's just a comment. I think we're okay there. I think the problem is that I have an ID on this play. I'll create a new play and we'll see what it does. But for now, let's save this. I still want it. It'll be just a weird play. We good? I think we're good. All good? Yep. Whoops, what happened? Oh, never mind. My bad. Ignore me. I'm being goofy. Now let's try it. All right. All right, so we got play 1. Not great, but let's just see if we did it work on the ID? Still play 2, but again, I think that's my problem because it's using the ID I gave it and not the ID. So it's going to do a new play here. Let's go create. You know, I really have to copy my shipping is a problem, you know. Shipping is expensive, and so shipping my X-Cases across the country is, you know, it's hard. How do I? Somebody wanted to order 8 of them, right? Great for me, but shipping is expensive. I actually reduced the shipping. I mean, I took off like $5, but it was $43 to send a box, you know, yay big, across the country. It's not terribly heavy. It's like 15 pounds or something. 13 pounds, I think, is what it was. But send a 13-pound box across the country. It costs $40. That is some crazy talk. That was FedEx. And I have a FedEx account, so I actually get a little bit of a discount, but a little bit. I'm not getting Amazon level discounts, but still, you know, that's crazy talk. So I'm gonna. He wants to do less purchase. I get it. I mean, I don't. You know, what can I do? But I have a UPS account too, but they're even worse. They're even more expensive, so I can't do UPS. Whatever you go, man. Sometimes you gotta do it. I gotta figure out a better way to do plays. Making them up as I go is just too much brain work and takes too long. I gotta do a faster way to make plays. It's kind of crazy. Shadur Sanders, they talked about him being a top 10 pick for a long time, and then he ended up being a 5th round pick and wasn't even the first QB taken by that team. That sucks. That sucks to be him. I mean, let's see. NFL plays. NFL plays. I don't want to say NFL plays. Play book. All right. NFL plays, playbook. Okay, let's just see what this is. You know, the thing is, it's hard to predict. I don't understand why offenses even bother to put a defense in unless you know what the opponent's doing, right? I mean, you can only guesstimate. Because you don't know what the opposition's going to play, right? I mean, it's kind of silly. So you just got to plan your. You see, this is what the inside of an NFL playbook looks like. This is a page about certain kind of pocket protection, focusing mostly on the opposing front 7. It'd be cool to put in some AI that made it smart enough to be able to block defenses. You know, like you can assign when you're doing. I mean, you could. I could. Maybe at first it won't be as smart, but in time I can start adding better blocking to, you know, defensive or to offensive formations. How to properly execute an end around. Properly execute an end around. So what the heck? Okay, so we got an end. So this, oh, this is the route, and he's going to run over here and then block somebody. And then I have no, so this is a, oh, offensive lineman. Look, he kind of goes out here and blocks. Check that play out. Crazy. He stays within the 5-yard zone and blocks over here. That's kind of interesting. And this guy runs. Wait, the center's going to block this dude. This guy's going to run all the way over there. Whoa. Whoa. That'd be hard to execute on my app because I don't have room to click like that. Because if I click on, like, it'd be hard for me to move a blocker over here because I can't click there. I'd have to like click in front of him, into the block in front of him. It can be done. It's just not particularly great because you're better off running sideways than running up. But that's an interesting, it'd be fun to try to get plays like that in place. I'd have to figure out how to make it more clickable on my screen. Jet technique. Want to read about something else? That is tough. Okay. That's not what I was looking for. Okay, so I want some plays examples. NFL plays examples. No, I don't want a playbook example. I want plays. No. I mean, I guess any plays would work, right? NFL plays. All right, let's just call diamond formation football. No, youth plays, college football playbook, NFL playbook. Offensive NFL plays. I don't know. Let's go to images. There's a lot, but this is kind of a weird way to look at them. Just copy plays. I mean, it's right. You're really not copying plays. Really. I mean, every play probably exists in somebody's eyes already. I mean, it's like, these plays aren't like, and if you have defense, you can count for the defense. Now, the trick is you start designing. The thing is, you can't have a play designed for defenses unless you put in certain logic for every single play. Every single play, you'd have to have guys that go, okay, well, you got to block this guy if it's this formation, if it's that formation, blah, 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 blah. You got to have a lot of logic in there that kind of goes, oh, these guys are this. Could make it very interesting to try to put that logic in. I don't think a simple play editor is going to do it. You almost have to, because you'd have to like set up a play with different defenses in mind. Oh, that'd be hard. Now you can put AI logic in there. It says, okay, well, if, you know, defensive formation is X or Y or Z, this is who you're going to block. Kind of like giving it some some blocking schemes. But you can't like define the play. You just say, this is what the play is going to be. What is this? I want like a playbook. I could just look at a bunch of plays and just start popping them in there. What does this say? How many we got? Oh, that's not even English. What the heck? What is that? I said visit this, and I ended up Aluda pick. Cross dog. Weird. It's like they have the Al Huda International is American football plays, and it's totally not what I thought I was looking at. Banner Society. Oh, these are just rip plays, right? 37, 37, 36. A lot of them. Xerox. What does Xerox mean? It means it's a copy of another play? Huh. But I do have to have a source, because if I'm going to put 100 plays into this thing, I need to create copies, or I'm going to go nuts. Here's some John Madden ones. Simple, lined up. And these are John Madden from, what, that's not even a football offensive playbook. Page 15. Why, how many pages are there? Completely scanned. John Madden football set for Commodore 64, including package and manual. Really, Commodore 64. Holy moly. It would be cool if I could get the AI to, like, I could give it a page and just have it generate plays for each one of these. Say, look at this. Can you tell what formations these are? And use my formations, and then, yeah, that's probably a bit much. I do have these formations. This is like a shotgun. That's basically my shotgun spread. That's shotgun spread. These are all shotgun spread. Oh no, this is trips right. I don't have a trips right. I should probably put trips right in there. Trips right, trips left. I mean, you can create plays for trips right, trips left that are specific, but then my goal is to have audibles that can flip a play, like you just flip it over. So, but it's going to be tricky to do that because some plays would require a lot of guys to go in motion, right? So then you have to flip it over. If you audible to a flipped play, you almost need to have it be where there's no. So you can't audible to a flipped play because it would require a whole lot of motion on some plays. Now, if the play formation is the same, you need to basically, like, you can't do a trips right audible that flips the play unless you do something. Yeah, two guys that have to go in motion to get to the other side if you're going to do that. And that means you have to have logic in there that says, okay, this is an audible. These two guys are going to flip over, and now the play is on the other side of the ball. It's interesting, but I think that might be a little bit much because then you're changing the route logic, and that becomes a problem. So flipping plays for audibles could be challenging. I do want to do audibles. I just haven't figured out how. I'm trying to figure out. I think what I might just do is change the routes for players. Because I think that's going to make it more practical. Anyhow, all right. I gotta do something quick. I'm not going anywhere. I just It's going to take me a second to do this. I have a customer who needs to see. I don't even know if this is still good, but let's change this to he's only going with 4. So we're going to do this. 6 and apply dimensions. I got to do this quick, so I apologize. Quick delay. Should only take a minute. Kind of weird. Where is my ground options? FedEx ground doesn't seem to be showing up. I got home delivery. Right. So let's see. Blah 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 blah. Let's see what the total on this is. We're gonna go 0.44. Oh no. Nope. 9.99 times 4 plus 28.91 equals from 68.87 to 65. Let me check something quick. Times six and we'll try to change this to 8. Oh shoot. 16, 10, 8. Okay, so this is 6 unit, 15, 12, 10. $31.44. $31.44. Six units. If you want the middle is would be 90. I have problem is the 8-unit box is a jump in cost. Size makes it kinda odd. Full case. Hold on, I got one more to do. Just one more. So, okay, so I'm working with, I'm trying to calculate for a customer who wants to buy 8 units, but I don't have an 8-unit box. I have a 6-unit box and a 4-unit box and a 12-unit box. He wants 8 units. 8 units is weird. It doesn't, I mean, it doesn't fall in there. So it ends up being like $43 for shipping because he's all the way in Illinois, Indiana. And it's only $1 more to buy 12 units. I mean, it costs more than that for the units, but the shipping is only $1 more. So it just kind of falls in a weird window because of the size of the box and stuff. But yeah, it's kind of weird. So, I mean, I guess it depends on what ones, because it's like it's $44 to send, but if you're buying 8, so what does that come out to? So 44 and times 12, 12 times 10 is about 120. Got 120 and 44 is about 160, 165 divided by 12. Alexa, what's 165 divided by 12?
165 divided by 12 is 13.75.
So it's about $13.75 a unit, which, by the way, is about our regular price for these cases, right? So right now I'm selling them for 10. So if I charge, so I'm going to tell this guy these things. I know it's kind of weird for me to do this, but I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I'm letting this guy know these prices so he can decide what he wants to do. $12 units total comes to $13.75 a unit. So for what did I say 4 was? So $65 divided by 4. Alexa, what is 65 divided by 4? What is that, about 17?
65 divided by 4 is 16.25.
Close. 16.25. So 4 units, 16.25. 16.25, comma. 6 is 90. 90 divided by 6 equals what? Alexa, what is 90 divided by 6? Is that about 14?
90 divided by 6 is 15.
Oh, 15, even. Okay. Six units is 15. But 8, which is totally weird, is 120. What is Alexa? What is 120 divided by 8?
120 divided by 8 is 15.
Oh, it's the same. So the best deal is 12 units at $13.75. 8 and 6 are 15. 4 units is actually the worst. It's a lot cheaper. But it's a lot cheaper because you're buying a lot less units. All right, well, there we go. He can decide if he wants to go cheap and pay a little bit more because the average is more. $16 a unit versus $13.75 a unit. One's way cheaper than the other, but you're paying more per unit. So I kind of like, well, if I can afford it, of course. I prefer to make shipping as cheap as possible. that's my dream. My dream is make shipping as cheap as possible. I can't afford anymore to give free shipping. I used to give free shipping, but $40 is a huge thing. And plus I'm giving a discount already on the units. Cuz I'm basically giving free shipping at 12 because I'm only charging them $10 instead of that. That's the discounted amount, which is like $3 less than I normally sell them for, which they're lower than their current MSRP. They used to, when I first came out with them, they were $10, but we've upgraded them a few times and the world has gone nuts. Everything's gotten expensive. So I can't sell them for $10 normally all the time anymore, but I've been selling the Mage Cages for only $10 lately. Okay, I know, I was distracted. Nobody wants to know about my shipping woes with products. It's not overseas, but you know, everything's going up in cost. Even domestic shipping is nuts. It's crazy how expensive things have gotten. It used to cost to send 12 units across the country, used to cost 20 some dollars. It's like double now. It's crazy talk. I don't know. I don't know how to. I don't know, man. I don't know why it costs so much. I wonder if I should check. I'm curious. I'm sure it's not cheaper. I'd be crazy if it was cheaper. But I'm wondering, because these guys have gotten really crazy expensive. Well, I don't know if it's FedEx. It could just be everybody, but they don't even have a ground. Where's FedEx ground? Yeah, I don't know. No, they don't have a FedEx ground option anymore. That's the cheapest end of day FedEx home delivery. Yeah, they don't have FedEx ground anymore. That's just crazy talk, man. You think USPS could actually be competitive? Nah. USPS is usually terrible after about 2 pounds. USPS is just, I mean, yeah, USPS is usually terrible once you get above 2 pounds. But it is so expensive. You feel like you got to try everybody, right? I don't think this guy, I've had him as a customer before, and I want to give him the best deal, but I also can't afford to take a beating. Especially when I'm already discounting the units. So that's why I usually round down shipping. I'll take off $5 or $10. I used to just do free shipping, but on a discounted units, it's just really hard. He's not buying any accessories. It's just I don't make enough on the units as it is, so I have to not be. I've done it before where I've kind of posed myself, where I basically lose money on the product, and I don't want to do that. That doesn't make any sense, right? Label manager. Hold on. I know this is totally not what you want to see me doing, but you know, hey, the struggle is real. If you're a small business owner trying to sell product, and as you know, I'm not currently employed, so I gotta be able to make the most out of these things. Do I have a? I don't think he's in here, but we will look. Oh, he is. Check it out. I actually sent him. This guy's ordered from me a lot of times. Saved address book. Which is definitely a plus. Okay. Yeah. Where's next? Oh, okay. No, nothing hazardous. Have my own package. This was 13 pounds. And 20, no, 22, 16, 10. Yeah, see, it's even more expensive on USPS. They're $50. $50. Holy frijoles. I could try. Let's do one more. I'm gonna do one more. I'm gonna do the cheapest one. I'm gonna go with 6. Nope. 6 is, I think it's 16 by 10 by 8, something like that. Oh, that's not bad. Hey, Treasure Rat. Sorry, I have a customer. So I don't know if you know this. You might not, because I may not have mentioned it in the time that you started following me. But I sell a product called the Mage Cage. And it's a storage case for miniatures. If you play gaming miniatures at all, like D&D or Warhammer or any of those kind of games, right? Star Wars, any of that stuff. I have a case. It's an expandable, transportable display case. I created this thing about, holy moly, has it been 20 years? Jeez, created it a long time ago. I think it was like 2005. Jeez. And since I created it, I've had multiple shipping, or multiple production runs. And I've been trying to get that business kind of going on the side, but it's been always, I'm not a good marketer. When I go to conventions, I sell them like crazy. I had a Kickstarter a few years back, and I came out with a clear unit that was a little bit different version. It's called the X-Case. And I sold them out. Sold them out in like a few months. And I was like, oh, wow, I guess I should have ordered more. I didn't. So now I'm trying to figure out how to build enough followers and people interested in it to put them on, to have another Kickstarter, because I have a lot of people asking me, when are you going to make a bigger unit? When are you going to start making more units? Well, obviously, I don't want to be putting more money in it. When I first invested in it, I put in like $60,000. I built the mold. I got the first production run. I made 10,000 units. Since the time that I first started making these things, I've sold like 20,000 units, which is, it's okay because it's taken a long time. But the clear units and the latest version, the X-Case, have sold really, 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 really well. I still sell the Mage Cage, which is the original version. They all connect together and they display, and you can create your own trend. They're all adjustable for transport, so you can create small cases and big cases. They grow with your collection. They'll display them on the wall for you. They're basically the everything Swiss Army knife of display storage transport cases. People love them, but again, terrible at marketing. A lot of people don't even know they exist until I show them to them, and they're like, "Oh wow, those are super cool," So that's why I do so good at conventions. However, some conventions are so expensive you can't really come out ahead. And when I go home, I have a trickle down effect. You get a little bit of boon of sales, and then it twiddles off because I'm afraid to spend on marketing money because I don't market very well. I'm afraid of wasting money. So yeah, so sales go way down. But I do have some customers that keep coming back because it's one of those repeat buy kind of things. And so people who like them will keep coming back and buying cases every now and then. And so I have a customer who wanted me to buy, he wants to buy some units. I don't have my site up right now because I'm in transition trying to find a good place to keep it while it's in a lukewarm state where it's just, I sell units on occasion kind of thing. And because I'm not doing much marketing for it lately. And I don't want to spend money on monthly charges when I'm not making enough sales to offset the monthly charges. There's a couple of sites that will only charge you when you sell stuff, and I'm trying to get those things going. I tried Facebook Marketplace, not Marketplace, but Facebook Store. It was a pain. I could not get it set up right. Facebook does not have any support for it. You can't call them. You can't ask them, how do I get this set up correctly? I put all my stuff on the site, but it doesn't show up. I can't get the pricing to work. Nothing works. It's a pain in the rear. I'm ready to toss in the towel on it. So now I need to find another source. Now there's a couple of other options. I can do Pinterest, which is kind of goofy for a manufactured product. That's more about, people who make their own stuff. And then there's some other BigCommerce or some other ones that kind of are supposed to work with those kind of sites. That the idea is that you only get charged when you sell stuff, which is what I want because I'm not selling a lot. Now, eventually, if I can get to the point where I'm selling steadily, I'd go back to like Shopify or my own website, as long as I'm making steady income to offset the monthly charges. But I'm not there yet, so I don't want to do it. Anyway, so what I've been doing these last 15 minutes is trying to get this guy some quotes that make it a fair deal for him, right? So I don't know. It's a pain. I was just noticing though, I could do 4 units. Dude, I could do 4 units to this guy for $12, which means he could do his 8 units for only 24 units. If I send him 2 packages, if I send him 2 packages of 4 units, he can have the 8 units he wants for only $24 of shipping instead. As long as I don't send one big package, because it gets stupid expensive if I do that. Look at this. I'm going to show you. Yeah. 4 units is $12. That's really good. I'm serious. FedEx, I was finding FedEx costs, $25 for 4 units. And UPS is stupid expensive if I try to ship more units. So the only thing that's cheaper in FedEx is if I did like a 12. That's $43. This would be $48 to do 12 this way, but I think that would be a weird way to do it. But I could send him 2 packages of 8 for $12 according to this. If my logic is right. Hopefully my math is right. Because I don't want to say, hey, I can do this for you, and then This is. Anyway, so yeah, it's going good, man. Could be better. I gotta write. I'm gonna reply to this guy one more time. Let's see. Previous was FedEx. So USPS is more expensive for large packages. It is pretty cheap for smaller. Hold on. I had to check one thing quick. What was that? It doesn't sound like it. Oh. Yeah, I it's kind of weird how shipping is just so expensive these days, and it kills businesses because everybody's like, "Oh, your product's pretty cool and it costs, it's not too expensive." And then you go, "Thanks, man." It says, "Hey, I'll buy 4." And they look, "It's what? It's how much to ship this?" It's like, "Yeah, but I'm giving you a discount. I've knocked $3 off, or I've knocked whatever dollars off." And they're like, "Oh, dude, that's just too expensive." I know, but I can't do anything about it. Shipping sucks. Well, whatever. What can I do? But I try to find the best deals I can for people, but it's hard. It's funny. So I could actually sell this guy 12 units. If I send him in four unit packages, it's only 12.20 a package to ship it to this guy, which is a good price. That's like decent. Which is crazy that I would have to send people multiple packages to save them money. it's it's like you're better off sending a bunch of small packages than sending one big package. Huh. Oh well. I've sent him all kinds of information. I'll let him decide now what he wants to do. I'll go get back to work now because I'm sure you're not here to watch me calculate shipping costs on products. If I had a convenient camera, I'd show you what these cases look like. Yeah, actually, let me show you. I'm going to show you. It's, I think it's connected. Let me see here. Every time I talk to people about these, they're all, this sounds interesting. You can actually look at them too on YouTube or Instagram. I have video. If you go to Active Minds Games on YouTube or Instagram, you'll see a bunch of pictures and videos. But I have some things that I use them here at my house, so I like to show people stuff. I know you didn't ask. But I'm going to show you anyway, because sometimes I talk about stuff and people might want to know. And the thing is, now I have to take orders by email, and then I quote them like through a PayPal invoice, and then they can pay me through PayPal because I don't have my site up and running because, like I said, Facebook is stupid. So, yeah. See this video capture device. Let's do this one. 22. Let's see if this works. If it don't work, I'll show it to you later. I thought I had this connected. Maybe, kinda, sorta. It's thinking about it. My dog's going nuts because my wife is probably home. Well. Okay, I guess my camera's not working. Never mind. All right, all right. I'll get to work now. Nobody. Do marketing at another time. This is why I'm so bad at marketing. I hate troubling people. I even tried to do a video. I wish I could afford to pay someone to just help me do a nice professional looking simple little ad where I could just stick it in my stream like at, I don't know, the 5-minute mark or the 10-minute mark or whatever. Just so it's there if people ever watch my stuff in post. Put it at the end of my video. I don't know, just something. So that it's at least out there, so I can let people know it exists. I know people who, if they like that stuff, generally like the product. Okay, so I've been working on getting my plays all kind of cleaned up here. And my plays weren't building very well, but I was trying to copy some plays online, and did I ever find any offensive NFL plays? Here we go. So I do this H39 toss. Should I do these ones? John Madden Football Offensive Playbook. Page 15. I don't know why there's only page 15. But there's a lot of images here. Do a little mix of everybody's plays. They're pretty generic. They look like everybody's Everybody's got the same plays. 16 formations. Ooh, wow. Is that really 16 formations? Chips left. 0, 2, queen, 6, king, 8, ace, bone, bunch, mongo, truck, tower, diesel, empty. I've seen empty before. I never heard of any of these other ones. 8? What the heck is an 8? 60 protection, 50 protection. Huh. What is that? Is that a play? I don't have any routes on it, so that's not a play. Those are just formations. Basic offensive formations with personnel groupings. Wow. Should I put 16 formations into my app? What I what I should do is like add some of the other formations. Like right now I've got 8. Like I should create plays for the 8. You're going, oh yeah, you said you were going with Unreal, huh? You're trying to learn Unreal. I try to learn Unity while I'm doing it. So, like I said, I'm a person who likes to actually have my my work that I'm spending my time learning on something I'm actually doing. I have a hard time. I have a real hard time conceiving stuff when I'm being not conceiving it. Applying it. If I learn it doing something that means nothing to me, like random things. There, just throw this dot in the middle of a nothing, and now you can make the dot move. I'm like, why am I doing this? I don't want to make a dot move. I want to make a dude move. Show me how to. I think teaching. I mean, I guess people like I understand that you need to know the basics, right? I mean, a lot of people do that. You clicked X on Twitch and had. Is that why you disappeared? I didn't even know you disappeared, man. I would never have known. So hey, don't worry about it. I'll just talk. I just blather on. I don't know when somebody's gone or not. You may miss what I said, but I don't know it. No, I was just saying I like to do work. I think when they teach you stuff like Unity, they need to teach you end to end in order of end to end. I know a lot of times they just start with open the interface, put something on the object. They teach you how to resize it, and then they show you how to like start doing stuff with it, right? They just show you how to resize it. They show you how to make it, reshape it. Then they show you how to make it move, and you're learning all this stuff about the object. But that's not end to end. I don't feel like once you start doing an application, you're rarely going to do that first, right? You're almost never going to start an application with just create a dude and start moving, because you're gonna have the first thing you're going to want to do is create some kind of a model. You're going to want a dude that walks around. So the first thing they should teach you is getting a model into the screen. And ideally, everybody's going to ultimately want some kind of a real character model. They need tutorials before starting. Yeah, I guess to kind of give you an idea what the whole place looks like. Yeah, that'd be good. Kind of give you a map. Problem is, that doesn't work for me. I mean, yes, it works for a lot of people, so don't get me wrong. Because there is so many things in Unity. Okay, I've only spent 5 days on Unity. I've showed you, you were here when I was actually doing my Unity stuff, right? Where I had a little dude running around in circles. Okay, so I spent time, like 5 days. It really wasn't 5 days. It was probably like 3 point something days, maybe about 20 hours. I don't know. Trying to get that dude on the field, right? I took a 2D model, turned it into a 3D model, got it on the screen, threw some animations in there, created a football field, and put him on the field, and had him and started implementing the animations and get control and running around and doing stuff with it. That took me about 20 hours-ish, if I was to count hours. And there's a lot in Unity. there's a lot. I mean, you got all the assets and the terminologies. You're trying to remember when in Unity it's called this. Like there was times when I'd be talking to AI, and AI goes, "Go check this." And I'm like, "Well, what is that?" Oh, in Unity it's this. So you have even AI assumes you know certain things. So that's AI is like I have to tell AI, look, I know nothing. I know nothing, Jon Snow. I don't know. It's like, it's just a matter of uh, just talk to me like I only know I've been on a computer, but I've never seen this app before in my life, and try to get it to give me the nitty gritty. So I have to. But once I started getting it, I started figuring out where things were, and this is why I got to try to start. I got to make a habit of getting into Unity every single week, 2 or 3 days in Unity every week, just so that I don't lose what I've been gaining. So I'll get back in there, but I'm trying to get a playbook going with at least a couple of plays, and that's kind of what my goal is right now for the first few days of this week, is to get a basic playbook. So I'm trying to figure out a way to get some basic plays in without me having to, what do you call it? Think of them myself, which takes a lot longer because it takes a long time to think of plays, and it's just better if you have them. Look at these ones. West Coast pathing. What pathing? West Coast pathing. I can't talk right now. My tongue is jumping in between my teeth. West Coast passing youth version. Why is it West Coast? Because it started in like San Francisco or San Diego or something? I think the West Coast offense was developed. I think that was a San Francisco 49ers thing. See, these kind of things. Can I see that? Guess I can't because whatever. I never understood offensive plays that are set up for the defense, because it assumes you know what the defensive formation is going to be. All you can do is go out and try to find guys to block. If you want to block out in a zone, you have to run out to the zone and hope they block whatever's there. All right, these routes are going the wrong way. China chair, inside stack, outside stack. Offensive pass route concepts. I haven't figured out how I'm going to do audibles in this game, by the way. What's the question mark for? What are blueprints? I think I've heard of them. I don't know what they are, though. Oh, I don't like. Why is that set up that way? Who writes plays that way? These are routes. I don't even know. I'm on Pinterest. I guess I never thought of doing an audible that way. Giving an alternate to the play itself. That could be interesting. Say if you want an enemy or something to open to open or whatever, it works like that. So you're trying to create like an RPG adventure type game. So are you thinking you want to start? You're starting the game. A lot of people do. Most people seem to start a game from the UI. It seems like if you go to most of the YouTube videos of people, hey, I'm going to start a game, they all start in the UI, Unreal or Unity or whatever. It's very rare to see people start a game like I did, where I pretty much start on the back end. I did a POC in the front end, and it was just React. But then I built my entire back end. And now I'm starting to build the front end. And it's pretty rare to see people develop a game like I'm doing it. So I'm an outlier. I'm that guy who's got to be different from everyone else. It's because this is where I excel. I excel on the back end. That's my brain, building the logic and how things are going to function in the core of the interactions of data. And I'll tell you, you can tell which games out there are written by people who are more back end oriented, and which games out there are written by people who are more graphically oriented. Okay, so games that don't have multiplayer from the start, even at the lowest level, are typically written by people who are front end, graphics oriented, because they don't have a back end engine or a back end source for interaction between players, because it takes a lot of coding and back end services and stuff that you got to develop to make multiplayer. It's real common for that. I'm just saying. And then also games that have very poor UI tend to be written by people who are really good at back end. So you see a lot of these football games that I complain about, the manager games that people love. The people that really like those games are being denied nice quality graphics because they like the statistic control that they have, the management aspects, the stuff. And whoever developed those games knows that back end data structure, fun stuff. And it doesn't mean that they did multiplayer. It just means that they've developed their game with a lot of nice back end logic, and it's doing all the math and stats and all that stuff. That's a different kind of developer. That's kind of where I sit. But I appreciate good graphics. So I want my game to have decent graphics to go with a nice back end. Games like Madden have, I don't know how many hundreds or dozens of developers working on it, right? And they probably don't have nearly as many as they used to. Back when it was first created, it probably had hundreds. But now it's probably down to a lot less because they don't make as much on it, because I've seen their money making, and they're not making that much. I don't know how they're even paying for the stupid NFL license. I wish they'd just give it up. Let someone else have it for a while. Make the NFL like suck it up and stop charging people stupid amounts of money for it. And then I feel like, what if they make more money if they had like 10 companies paying them at a lot less amounts than paying, well, I guess probably not if you're charging $1.5 billion. I mean, how many companies would you have to get? How much cheaper would it have to get? Most companies wouldn't pay you $1 million, much less $1 billion. So yeah, I guess you could have 1,500 companies making football games paying you $1 million. It's like, yeah, I don't think we're gonna get that. Yeah, I can't. I'm shocked at how much the NFL charges and expects these companies. How does Madden make any money? Because I don't know if you were watching me yesterday. I was looking at the Steam numbers for football games, and Madden. Yeah, they have 2 or 3 versions in the top 10, but their biggest one makes like 9 million, and then a lot of them are making like just over $1 million or less. How are they making any money? Now, it's possible that I'm not seeing the whole picture, because I think it said if you're not paying for Gamealytic, you're only seeing a month. And if that's the case, if they're making 10 million a month, maybe it's closer, because then you're making 120 million a year, And if you come out with a new version every year, it's probably consistent. So you're making roughly 120 million a year. But still, after 5 years, that's still only $500 million. You still haven't paid your $1.5 billion NFL license fee. And plus the NFL expects payments in addition to the, I mean, you pay 1.5 billion, but they still get money from every unit you sell because they're greedy that way. And they expect a certain amount of sales. So if you sell $10 million worth of or $120 million worth of product of their NFL licensed product, you have to pay them X, 3%, 5%, I don't know, some amount. And that means that's that much less that you're making. And you still have to pay off the $1.5 billion license fee to have it exclusive. I don't know, man. NFL's greedy. I don't think I'd ever license a game through them. And in some cases, I think you have to get multiple licenses. Like you have to get the NFLPA, you have to get the NFL. To use player names, you have to get the NFLPA. Now, I don't know how much more expensive the NFLPA is or less expensive, but still, it's another charge. And I don't know how. I'm sure that Madden gets all of it because you see real players and everything in there. So they have the whole big picture. But it's still insane. All right. Stop talking, Ken. Let's put some stuff in. Let's just put some of these in. I don't care. Let's just copy this one. We're going to go... it's not very... This is kind of a blurry... Whoa. Guess there's a limit to how big I can make this, apparently. All right, so we're going to have... what do I got? I've got shotgun... Does this even exist here? It's pretty close. Split. Well, I mean, I guess I don't have to have it be the same formation. I could just put guys in. It's just putting routes down. Just getting ideas of the routes, I guess, is good enough. All right, let's do this first one. So this is like a wing set. Do I have a wing set? I don't have a wing set. All right. I don't have that. That's like a common. Why don't I have that? That's a common one. I may have to add that one to my list. But right now, how about an I formation? Here, how about a single back formation? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got one. Single back formation. Hey, something's weird with this one. Wait, what the heck is the deal with pistol formation? Where's my QB at? Something's broken with my pistol formation. Where the heck is the QB at in the pistol formation? He's like... Okay, something's weird. I gotta go look at the formations now. Where the heck is my... I know he's there somewhere. Something is wrong with my pistol formation. Formations. A pistol formation. Okay, so where's the QB? QB is at 0. Aha! No, wait, no. That's 0, 3... Oh, I had two guys at 0, -3. What am I doing there? This is probably like 0. Why is he? Oh, so he's supposed to be in a shotgun formation. Right, what is... Do I have a... Like... I have QBR to the right here on shotgun spread. I don't want to copy the shotgun spread. Huh. So these guys are right on top of each other. That's the problem. My QB and my running back are on top of each other. How did I end up with that? Let's drop him. Is he supposed to be shotgun formation? think that's too far back. I think if you're... I mean, 10 yards is a long ways back. That's a long ways back. I think 10 is enough. So we're going to move him. Let's actually have him be at -2. And we're going to push him off to the left a little bit. We'll go -1. I don't know if that's... Pistol formation should be straight up in a line. I think. I don't know. I don't know what it's supposed to be, but that's where I'm going to put them. All right, I got to reset this. Go run dot. There we go. It's a little better. Now I got my running back not on top of my quarterback. That's important. I mean, it's not that he's not crowding the plate a little bit, but we'll take it. I don't know if that's the right form of a pistol formation, but I'll tell you that it looks better than the way it was. All right, let's go ahead and put the pistol formation in. And then we will do a run play, and we will say... Let's do something interesting. Let's have this guy go across the field. And then we'll have him block. And then we'll have the we'll have him, the right tackle, we'll have him block center. And with the right guard, he will block center. Center will block left. He will block left. He will block left. And then we'll have him go... Here I am not copying plays, even though I said I was going to do that. It's like it might be more difficult to block, create copies, because... I don't know, because... We'll have him move... out here, and then we'll go to there, and then we'll have him block, and then we'll have him do an exchange. QB will do exchange also, and he will run here, and oh, actually, you know what? Oh, I gotta reset that. Darn. I will do exchange, and he'll go here and run there, and we'll click him, and we'll go here and block. So everybody should have a job right now. He doesn't have a job. Where's he gonna go? He's going to go here and block. All right, so everybody have a job now? Block, 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 block. Move and block, block. QB, just going to watch the play. And he'll block. Okay, so we'll call this one pistol. don't know. Swing right. Sure. I don't know what I'm doing. We're just gonna call it. Screw it with the naming conventions, man. I'll put logic in to read the stupid formation. I don't know what. Naming conventions are stupid. I spend too much time thinking about names. I'll never get these plays done. All right, so let's see what that looks like. Let's go look at my play. Make sure it came out good. Good and pretty. Go to my gateway, which is somewhere here, gateway. My public. Play number 2, nice and padded, looks good. There's my pretty play, database. Database, where are you, database? Oh, yeah, I gotta refresh it, that's why. All right, and then we have my new play. Looking good, looking good. Pistol swing right, offense, defense. It is an offensive run. Looks good. Version number 1. Yes, we are good. That's two plays. Yeah, I know that's not very many plays. I got more plays, but these ones I got to figure out how I'm going to reset them, or if I'm going to, or whatever. I got to figure out how to deal with those. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and just keep cranking them out, man. Shotgun spread. I'm just going to start clicking because I got to do, oh, new play. Go here. Shotgun spread. We're just going to go like that, and we'll do a pass play, and we're just going to go, let's do our usual bomb. Bomb. Everybody's going out, man. You should go that way, though. We don't need everybody going to the same spot. And then you can go, where do you want to go? We'll have him go a little shorter, just because. And then we'll buy pass block, of course. Pass block. Pass block. Pass block. Lots of block. More pass block. Run. We will have him block as well. And then, hey, his job will be throw the ball to somebody. And we're going to go block, block, also block. Yes. We're going to be block, block, blocking everywhere. Everybody's going to do the block, block. So what is it? We'll just call it 4 deep. 4 deep. No, it's shotgun. 4 deep. Because that's what it is. Shotgun 4 deep. So we'll hit save play. We're done. We've got another play. It is kind of a pain to set these guys to be blocking, but it is part of what you got to do. You got to tell them what to do. I got to give them something. I guess I could by default set all my offensive linemen, if it's a pass, to go pass blocking. But the thing is, when you do a run block, you often have to tell them which direction to block, or maybe you want to have them move in a direction or shift. Pass blocking is kind of a given, but run blocking is not. Run blocking is like, it's special. You got to create your direction of blocks and how are you trying to build that hole up, right? All right, so let's go here, and then let's do a single back. Now, how about full house? Let's do full house. Full. I did create a naming convention. This would have been a 33. And there's no... Wait, what just happened? Oh, why didn't you say new play? Never mind. New play. Now I'll do full. I was like, wait, why are my plays all out of whack there? So we'll click here, and then we will try to create. Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? What are you doing? I'm grabbing packages.
You can't leave them on the porch.
Well, they didn't arrive. I've been looking all day.
They just got here.
Stupid things. You don't even know what that is, so don't look at it. Bought my wife a Mother's Day gift, and it shows up unwrapped. But it's not even in a brown box. It just sits there, and it shows up when she gets home. I purposely had them delivered on a Monday, so I think she'll be at work, right? So when it arrives, and of course it shows up after she gets home. And I've been waiting for it all day because I thought I gotta get it before she gets home. And I looked outside a half dozen times, nothing. And of course it shows up when she's home. And she goes out and gets it. Stupid delivery people. That's a lot of wrapping for this little thing. I hope it works. Well, deal with that later. Dome, dome, dome. Yeah, exactly. Well, that happened. Oh, well. I'll just have to hypnotize her or something so she doesn't remember. Anyway, let's get back to it. I'm going to do let's do a lot of short play. Let's do a pass that's all short. So we're going to have one guy run. We're going to have him do a bump. So he'll like run out to here, bump, and then run over here. And then he will, well, hopefully we'll throw to him. And then he will go over here. We'll have him do the same thing. We'll have him go over here and bump. And we'll have him run over here. And then we'll have him go here, and then we'll have him go to here. And we'll have him go this way. And we'll have him go that way. So we'll call this one, what is this? This is the full house. Yeah, full house. We'll call this one full screen, full S. I don't have anybody who's short. There's medium and long. 3, 2, 1. 3S 13. 3S 13. Quick. Quick. Yeah, that'll work. So little s on my naming conventions, which I'm going to try to apply on this one because I threw them out in the last one. Little s means the short pass available, meaning screen. Oh, screen. Oh, it's dump. Oh, wait. It's dump. 4S13 dump. Okay, so S means short passes are available. It's going to be, oh, actually, it's 1-1. S11 dump. What this means is there's at least two guys that are going to be short. There are no long ones or medium ones. And it's S. So if we have S, it just means short is available. So I basically have 3 short guys, but 1-1 just means there's no mediums or longs. Because if there's a long, it's 3. If there's a 2, it's a 2. If there's all 3, then it'll be S32. There won't be a number for the low numbers. That's how I'm doing it. That's my nomenclature. I'm trying to see if I can apply it. As you can see, I'm already frustrated by it, and I throw it out every now and then. So it's going to be useless. But at least I'm coming up with names. Oh, wait. Did I even give pass blocking assignments to these guys? Oh, whoops. Nope. Oh, no. Wait. What did I just do? Nope. Reset. No. Yeah, let's reset that one. Dang it. I have to go back here, here, here. And yeah, good enough. And then this guy needs a pass blocking assignment. Pass block. Pass block. Pass block. Pass block. Pass block. And I probably should have him throw the ball rather than just stand around and do nothing. Now we're good. Now we'll update the play. Okay, so now we've got hopefully a more useful play. So I've got some short, I've got some long, I've got some running. I mean, I got one run to the. I should probably put in a run to the middle, and I need to have some mediums. I should have some medium plays. Let's go with the which one? Let's see. Let's take some weird ones on here. Let's go with the single back, I guess. And then we'll do another one, but I got to get some mediums in here. So, oh yeah, I got a new play. Medium, single back. All right, so we'll do this. Mediums. So we'll go. Here. Here. We'll do a hitch. And go to here. And then we will have this guy go here to there. Oh, probably kind of far, but whatever. And then pass block. Set some pass blocking in here. And then we'll have my my running back will do. What my running back gonna do? You know what? I'm gonna have him go right here. And he's going to, yeah, be right there. And then we're going to have this guy go up here, go over here, and we'll have him block. I'll have him go up here. He'll go over here. Have a couple of dump off guys there. And I'll have my QB pass. So we will call this one single. S. SS22 SS22 quick. I'm gonna call this one quick. Cause I wanted to put quick in last time, so we're gonna put it in this time. Save play. SS22 quick. So in this case, short is available. There's 2 guys at the medium range, and quick just means there's some short passes like something like dump offs that you can throw, like a screen pass. This kind of thing is considered a middle screen, which is weird because I always thought screens were behind the line of scrimmage, but this is considered a middle screen, I guess. I think the idea behind a screen pass is to dump it over the rushers. So you got people rushing in on you, and you're just going to throw a pass on the other side. So even a screen that's left or right of you, it's generally just to throw it over the guys that are rushing you, left or right. So if you do a middle screen, it's the same thing. They're all collapsing in on you, so you're going to throw it over their heads and try to throw it to the guy on the other side. Now, you don't know where the linebackers are, and of course they could be, messing that whole plan up. But you've got to, that's the way the play is designed. It's supposed to, give you those options. So this is giving him 2 options that are short and over the center. Well, it's not really over the center, but it's close. And then these guys are just doing some ins and outs. Okay, so I've got longs, I got mediums, I got shorts, I've got screens. I should probably do a little bit more runs. Oh yeah, new play. We'll do a run. I don't have a formation because that kind of doesn't work. I don't even have a short yardage run thing here. I guess single back could be a run. Let's go I formation. All right, so we're gonna go. We're gonna go here. We're gonna do a bump, and then we're gonna run over here, and then we'll do a block. This guy will do a block left. Block left. I'll have him block left. Actually, we're going to have him move a little bit. We're going to go up and then block left. And we're going to have him kind of go over here, block right. Have him go over here and block right as well. And then we're going to have him run right through here. Oops. Wait. Oh, no, that's right. Never mind. And then we're going to have QB here. Going to do an exchange. He's going to do an exchange. And we'll have him run here. I'll have him do an exchange as well. And that's it. We'll just have him run. Okay, so I think we're good. We're going to call this one. What was this? I formation? I fullback lead dive. Good enough. Right. FB fullback lead dive. Lead right. Lead right dive. Sure. I don't know. Close enough. All right, so I got a run. I got a run that goes to the right. Got a run that goes to the right, but it's in the middle. So it's a middle play. And then we're going to go, we need to do another run that takes it the other direction. So I don't think I have any other runs that go the other direction. I got a lot of them. Let's see what I got here. So I got this one, which is a pass. Run to the right. Another pass. Another pass. Another pass. And a run. And then these things, which don't actually, I mean, they exist. And I guess I could use them. It's got a dive middle. Maybe I can use these. let's try to use them. Let's see if I can use them, because that gives me more than enough plays if they work. They have bad IDs, but they might work because they're unique IDs, and it's really all you need. So we'll go with that for a while and see how that works out for me. So that said, I now can do my playbook. I hope. So let's go to my plays. And things get interesting now. This is the first new feature in a while. The first new major feature that I haven't put in a while. So because like game plan was the first one. Creating a play editor was the second one. Actually, that's not true. Creating my POC simulation was the first one. Play editor or a game plan was the next. Play editor was the next. Creating a streamer service that allows me to actually create a game with streamer teams. That was my next one. But all that does is actually go out, allow me to apply teams to the stream game. I don't have the simulation going, but I was able to get the whole interface to take in new teams and go to the process of starting a game. I don't have the game, but at least that part works. And now the playbook, which is the next major thing, actually getting a playbook into place with the plays. Now, here's my problem. I got to first figure out a way to give players plays. I don't have a way to give players plays yet. So this player, the play editor is not attached to any users because it's meant for me just to use it. And I'm probably going to even have to figure out a way to hide that or turn that off when I actually start making this publicly available, because I don't want people creating plays, because it's not that intuitive, especially since it's not 100%, you know, I have got some things that shouldn't be there and little tweaky things that I know are how to work around it. So my plays have to be just me for now until one of these days when I'm going to make it publicly available, maybe sort of, kind of, I don't know, maybe possibly. Be right back. So the customer has decided to go with middle of the road. he wanted 6 for 90. Wait a minute. If eight is 80 and I can do it for $24 in 2 boxes, that's 104. It's all right. He wants the 6 for 90. I could do 6 for 90 as FedEx single box, but I was just thinking, I wonder what it would cost to do 2 boxes that way. Because if 6 is 60, I know I can do it for less than 30 bucks. I could probably do it for like 20 bucks, and I could do 6 for 80. 6 for 80 would be a better deal for him. If he doesn't mind getting 2 boxes, I'll have to see. I haven't tried a USPS for 3. I'll do that later. I don't need to do it now because I'll prep it tonight, and I'll send him the invoice. I'll cancel the other event. Maybe I'll send him 2. I'll send him 1 for the 6 for whatever it is, which will probably be cheaper, or the 8 for 104 with 2 boxes. It's so weird that 2 boxes is cheaper than 1 box. That's just weird. I don't know. Oh, well, you know. Where was I? Okay, let's get this done. What time is it? It's 4. I got an hour. I'm going to get this playbook thing at least sort of kind of in a way working. So now it is time to implement the playbook UI. Component. What this is going to be. All right, so I don't know, you weren't here when I was discussing my plans for my playbook. So I have 3 options here. All right, if you're paying attention, I'll give you a minute to respond, but because I know I have a delay on my my stream here. And let's see what I have my opinions. But I don't know what anybody else's. So this is the NFL 2K Playmaker Edition. I call it that because this is kind of what they did. They created they have a number of filters, and they have their playbook with their plays on top. And then they have this little scrolling list of available plays. I don't know if I can, I'm sure I can do something kind of similar to this. I kind of like it. It looked kind of cool, so I was thinking maybe. So I was thinking go with this form. Offense, defense is just filtering whether or not you're looking at offense, defense, and maybe I'll even have special teams plays. But for now, it's kind of what you're looking at. And you can add your plays as they become available and they're assigned to you. The next option, option 2 here, is kind of split in the screen where you have a list of your available plays on the right and your playbook on the left. These are the plays you have. These are the plays you can put into your playbook. And then there's the option that's kind of the opposite of that. But this is more consistent with my current designs, where all my filters and all the stuff that you're doing that's extra is on the left and the playbook is on the right. But it's not really a split screen. It's more of a small scrolling area. So you can see like my playbook here. My play editor puts all of my functional stuff on the right with my filters and everything else on the left. So for consistency, I like one option more than the others. Game plan doesn't really have anything like that, so it's just got the filters and then we build the play. So that's not something that you can build consistency from. But I kind of like the filtering option number 3. And it's kind of what I'm going to go with, I think. Unless, for consistency, this. Otherwise, it's this. And I don't know. I don't think option 2 is going to work. I feel like it's going to be too crowded on my screen. The only reason I'm wondering if I want to do 2 rows here. You like 3 also? Yeah, I think I'm leaning towards 3. And I'll have to see how it looks with 2 rows or even 1 row on the left. That's why I'm going to have this filter. All of them are going to get this filter option here because it's the best way to get plays, finding plays, especially especially if there's going to be hundreds of plays, you're going to want to filter and get, be able to see what the options are. All right, so let's go with that route. worst comes to worst, I look at it and I hate it, but let's see what happens. I think it's not that hard to change. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. All right. So let's see. Let's go to my. Oops. Let's close all these. I don't need any of this. Close all. Just get myself to a fresh place. I'm gonna go down to my PFFM web source app coach playbook. All right. Now it's time to implement the playbook UI component. The playbook.jsx is the component file that will be updated. Currently, all the code in that file is just a placeholder and can be updated / replaced as needed. One, font formatting is handled by the page.jsx except where except in special cases. For now, use what it is set up as. All right, 2. Available plays, that is, plays in the users. All right, so I have, okay, where, oh, all right, now I gotta figure out, what do I have? Oh my gosh, I gotta figure out, well, how do I even have plays assigned to people? Types, play, formation, route assignments, position, play type, route. Oh, you know what? I am concerned. I may not actually have play objects set up for users. Oof, this is going to be bigger than I thought. That's got to get done. It's got to get done. The read-only struct will need to... So I wonder if I want to have plays... Yeah, I'm trying to decide how I'm going to hold these plays. Am I going to hold them in playbook? Players? Do I hold them in the players? It's not going to be players. It's going to have to be in the plays, in the playbook. Just woke up, boy. You must be working an odd shift, man. You're going to be going to bed in about 3 hours. So you must be working like late nights right now. Because that's some serious 7 p.m. for you, man. You're crazy. Oh no, wait, are you central? You it might be 6 p.m., but still really late. You are your day is upside down, man. What are you doing to yourself? All right, so I'm trying to set the parameters to putting in a new feature on my system here. 2, this will require new backend functionality. Okay, so it is 7 o'clock. So you are 3 hours. I don't know why I keep thinking you're 2 hours. I don't know why I keep thinking you're central. Who is central? Oh, is that Azito that was central? Oh, you're central. You're central too? I didn't know you were central. Treasure, or maybe I did know. I don't know. It's kind of a lot to expect a streamer to remember where everybody's from. Unless you're around all the time. Right now, I've only got a few. Can you imagine what happens when you've got 1,000 people and you've got 25 people on all the time, or 75 people all the time? I don't know how these people do it. You can't. How do you even keep keep people straight. I mean, regulars, like I'll remember you guys, right? Because you're all around all the time at the beginning and you're new. And if you're still around, if I ever have a lot of people, if I if I ever have more than 3 or 4 or 5 people on at any one time, it's it's not so bad keeping track of 5 or 6, maybe even 10 people. But once it goes beyond that, it starts getting harder and harder, especially if the 10 people are cycling. It's not the same 10 people. Because right now with you guys, I think I've got like 4 regulars on this channel, 4 that show up regularly. I got Azito, got Ariano, I got you two. I don't know. There's probably others. I think there's at least 4. When you only have 17 followers on YouTube, I assume of all of my Twitch, I probably got my 25% of my Twitch people came from for the coding. Yeah. Very good. Well, I'm a Denver Broncos fan, but how did you know I was actually... I'm actually not from... I guess I am kind of from Denver. I was born in Pueblo, Colorado, moved to Springs, moved to Denver, then moved here, which I'm actually in the Northwest. And but I've been living here now for most of the time. Then I moved back to Colorado, to Denver for a couple of years, and then I moved back here again. When I got into the software industry, Washington was a forerunner state because Microsoft was up here, and I got a job offer to come back up here, and they paid for me to move up here and everything. Now I can't get a job if I can't pay them to take me. It's like I've had 3 times I've had jobs where I got signing bonuses, and 2 jobs where they paid for my moving, and now I couldn't bribe somebody to hire me. Yeah, we got Microsoft up here. Well, they're everywhere now, but this is still their home base. This will require backend functionality, which I want to follow the same structure as the player types. User plays. Sure. User collection. Backend functionality, which will follow similar lines to the players. Structs, user collection, and collection players, that will be located in the playbook service, and will be user plays, user play collection, and collection plays. To do their what? To do their coding offer for their camp. To do their coding offer for their camp. But I got written up one time in a and it disqualified me. Really? Coding? You're new to coding, aren't you? Aren't you pretty new? How did you get a coding to do their coding offer for their camp? Before I had an offer with Amazon to do their coding offer for their camp. But I got written up one time in it. You mean you got written up in a different job and that disqualified you from the Amazon thing? It's a pain in the rear to get hired by those companies. Facebook, Google, Microsoft, Microsoft, Facebook, Google, Microsoft. Who am I missing? There's another big one. I've never tried Apple, but Facebook, Google, Microsoft. There's somebody I'm missing. I know it. The fourth one. Facebook, Google, Microsoft. Anyway. Oh, Amazon. That's the other one. The one you mentioned. They're a pain. You got to go through so many interview processes. And there's times when you're in the room with like 12 people and you got like 7 layers of interviews and 3 or 4 of them are tech interviews. It's just, oh God. It's so stressful. It's so stressful to get those jobs. And they don't care what your history is. They don't care what proof of work you can give them. All that stuff does is maybe get them to call you. After that, you got to go through their what do they call it? Their what is it when you walk through and they're beating on you? You walk through the thing and they're just the different people take turns beating on you. That's what it is. I feel like you're going through when you try to get a job with those companies. That's not fun. Oh, yeah, that sucks, man. You know, at my last job, I want to say the gauntlet. They send you through a gauntlet. Yes, that's what it is. Okay, gauntlets aren't always about getting beat up, but typically, in the terms of where they're usually at, it's usually a phase, a multi-level combat situation. So, if you were going through a gauntlet, you might have to fight this guy, and then that guy, and then that guy, and then that guy, and you have to get all the way through the gauntlet, um, to survive. They beat the snot out of you along the way, and you may or may not get through the gauntlet. So you might charge it. You run the gauntlet, but they're slicing and dicing, and you're trying to stay alive running through this thing. And sometimes you'd actually fight other warriors, and you had to beat these other warriors. Just so different levels and complexities of gauntlet. But that's what it's like when you're going through these job interviews. You have to you have to run the gauntlet, and it's good luck, because they don't care nothing about your past. You could be the most successful programmer in history, but if you can't go through their gauntlet, they don't care. Your history doesn't matter. Doesn't matter how well you did. All it does is give you an opportunity to talk to them. Maybe it doesn't give me an opportunity to talk. For 14 years, I worked at my last company. 13 years, I got raises, promotions. Great reviews. I was like all these upper tier reviews. The last year, when I was working in a department I shouldn't have been in, and even my boss knew it. My boss she shouldn't have hired me in that position. I knew she shouldn't have hired me in that position, but I took it because I thought it was a challenge, which was a mistake on my part. So we both made mistakes. I should not have taken this job. She shouldn't have hired me. We definitely didn't. There wasn't enough opportunity for me to actually learn this job because I'm good at learning things, but this job gave no opportunity to learn. But she kept asking me, why haven't you mastered this, this, and this? And I'm like, well, because you've never let me work on that stuff ever. I think in a year, I got to spend 2 weeks on the stuff I was expected to learn throughout the course of that year. And of course, I didn't learn it. It was 2 weeks. I was too busy trying to do all the other crap they had me doing. And she goes, so I was getting my reviews for that year were kind of, and I was like, this sucks, man. I'm tanking a job I should not be tanking, but it's too stupid. I wish I had never taken the job. I guess if I really had really considered it, if I'd have really saw the writing on the wall, I should have put in to transfer back out of that group, but I didn't. And so, yeah. And then I left. So I wasn't on the best terms with my company when I left, which was sad because I had such good reviews. I have a lot of people there I had good rapport with, but there just wasn't opportunities to move because lame management people. So yeah, I know how it is to have a not good mark on your record when you have such a good record. Is all I'm saying. And it was frustrating. I almost feel like sometimes it was like, maybe nobody's calling me because they blackballed me. Maybe she put the word out somewhere, and all these companies are getting the, oh yeah, don't hire him option. I'm like, why? I'm a nice guy, good developer. Just because she was a lousy manager put me in a lousy position. That's her fault. I blame her. It's always someone else's fault, right? Isn't that the rule? It's always someone else's fault, or something like that. I don't know. Maybe I have that backwards. Who knows? Or the rule is what if you have a problem with everyone around you, then maybe they're not the problem. Actually, I didn't. I liked most of the people I worked with. I got along with most of the people I worked with, so it wasn't that. It was just my manager and the job I was in. It was just a bad situation. Just didn't work out well. When they let me go due to performance reasons and the fact that they were cutting back, I mean, they were trying to reduce workforce, so that was kind of a two for. They were both trying to cull, and I just was the perfect one to cull because performance reasons apparently. Um, I was, yeah, I didn't argue it. I mean, I wasn't like, you know, mad or anything because I was like, yeah, yeah, you're right. I didn't do what I thought I could do because I had reasons. She feels like she gave me all the opportunity in the world. I think the problem is the expectation there. See, this company's been really good for all the time I was there. They were really good about work-life balance, right? So they don't really expect you to work after hours. You work your hours. Sometimes it could be a little bit more, 40, 50 hours, but rarely more than that. And they didn't really expect you to work after. Problem is, in this department, she didn't want to give me time to work on this stuff, to learn it. She expected me to learn this stuff after hours. So go spend a bunch of time on my own and try to dig through the code and figure out how all this stuff works in languages I didn't know and without anybody assisting because they had their own work to do. So they wanted me to spend all this time on my own. I didn't want to spend that time. I expected to learn on the job like I always do. Like I get in there and play with stuff and do the coding and figure it out. I would have figured it out in a few months. I guarantee you, if I was working on those apps that I was expected to learn for any period of time, just a month or two, I'd have had it. But she just refused to give me any opportunity to work. And it was because it's not even just her fault. These apps, they weren't developing anything new. It was support all the time. So it's like, go put in this piece of text, go change this little error, go fix this thing, and then we'll go do all these 900 other things that have nothing to do with it. And then maybe there'll be another little bit. And you have 8 people on the team, so the most experienced people do whatever they want, and you've got to do the chaff. So it was just, like I said, it was just a bad situation. It wasn't, I don't think it was anybody's necessarily fault, except that we should not have had, she needed someone to come in who already knew all this stuff because there wasn't going to be enough focus on anything to learn it. And I didn't know that. She didn't imply that. And so the mistake was both of ours in just coming together in the first place. Life, one of those things. It happens. Let's see. So the second part of this is available plays. Available plays, that is plays in the users. Wait, what? Ooh, what? I don't know what that is. Man, I gotta change out my words. All right, so 2 available plays that is plays in the users. That is plays in the user user plays collection. Okay, no. This will require new backend functionality, which will follow similar lines to the player structs, user collection, and collection players, but will be located in the playbook service and will be user play collection and collection plays. These two structs will hold all the plays a user owns. User play collection, and the actually I don't want to call it playbook. I don't want to call it collection plays. We'll call it what do I call it here? Team plays, a playbook plays. Playbook plays. So user has a playbook. Playbooks are created. Right? Player. Where the heck is the playbooks? Got players, team, staff, specialties, player, period stats. Oh, I'm in the wrong thing, that's why. Let's go back up here. Playbook, there it is. So we got the playbook, and then we have plays, which are just the generic plays. And then we have, yeah, because I don't need a generic, so we got playbook and playbook plays, okay. Collection plays and user play collection and user playbook plays. Yes, right? Yes? I don't know, man. I feel like my naming isn't great. I'm trying to figure out the best way to name these, but user collection and collection players. What is user collection and collection players? I mean, what do they have in there? What is my breakdown of these things? User collection represents all players in a user's collection. Player collection represents a user's collection of players. I'm trying to figure out why I did it that way. There's got to be a reason. What was I thinking, man? What was I thinking? All right, so what's in there? We got the... Oh, because the collection can get... Oh, yeah. Okay. No, the collection has to be the parent object. Jeez, what a pain. How am I going to do this? The collection is the collection, which means your plays need to be in the collection. So we got collection player. User collection represents all players in a user's collection. It's all... Gosh darn it. I don't know the best way to do this. Because your collection needs to be everything that you collect. Players, staff, plays. It's everything that is yours should be represented by this parent object, this user collection. Everything you get from the game. If I provide some other objects and things you can collect, like anything, like I have this what do I call them? I don't want to call them boons. skill flashes. They're called skill flashes. Skill flashes are things that'll happen periodically throughout a game, but you can get them and apply them to players or use them in a game in your game plan. But they belong, well, I guess they could be in the playbook. You put them in the playbook, but there are skill flashes which will still just be in your collection that you may or may not put in your playbook. So it's just, they're objects that you have. They're collection items. So, I don't know. The reason I'm stumbling on this is because I don't know if having the collection, which represents a collection of players, plays, and any other item I decide to do in the future, I wonder if the best place for it is in the playbook right now, or in the players collection, because it's more than that. All right, I'm gonna go to the let's go talk to a general thing. Chat GPT. Let's go Chat GPT. I know I could do it there, but I don't want to break my my current window. Oh, you know what I could do? I could just open another window, but our latest reasoning model can search the web, use memory, write better code. O4 Mini is better? Better than ChatGPT? What? Write better code and analyze images. Really? Analyze images? Huh. O4 Mini? Really? Think before responding. All right. All right, let's pose this question. Can I talk? Use voice mode. Dictate. Hmm. Okay, so I have an... All right, stop. Cancel. Gotta get my brain straight. Okay, let's try this again. I have a backend service that's storing a variety of user information. Now, currently, I have a service that holds players, and then I have a user collection that holds all of the players. But the user collection is going to hold more than that. It's going to hold plays, such as from my playbook collection or playbook service. Now, I also think there might be other objects at some point that belong in the user's collection. What would you recommend for the proper place to store this? I do have a service called User Account, which holds all the teams that a user would own. Would it be better to put the user collection in the user account and then just store links to all of their players and all of their playbooks and plays and other items throughout the other services? Or is it better to keep it where it is and then just link? Let's see what Disky, how you doing, man? An anxiety attack. Yeah, man, dude, I've heard, you were having those issues before. I'm sorry, man. I feel bad for you on that. 2:30 a.m. That's right. You got some interesting hours. But, dude, I feel bad for you, man. I don't know. I hope you're all right. Yeah, you managed to do the brown paper bag and that's panic attacks, I guess. It's different. I don't know. I don't even know if my text there makes sense, but you currently have a user collection that holds players. User collection will also soon hold plays, playbook related. In the future, more objects, items will belong to users. You also have a user account service that tracks teams a user owns. Options you're considering. A, central user collection. Keep a single user collection that stores players, plays, and other embedded under the user. B, distributed model with linking. Keep user account service as the owner of users, but have players, plays, etc. in their own collection services, each pointing back to a user ID. Keep domain boundaries clean, players and service plays in playbook service, etc. Easier scaling each service independently. My recommendation, use option B, distributed with linking. You already have a user account service. That's your center. Each domain, object, player, playbook, team, etc. should live in its own service collection and have reference back to its own owning user ID. Advantages for you, clean separation of concern, players, service owns players, playbooks, service owns plays, etc. User account service can then just aggregate data if needed. Easier to add new owned object types in the future. You don't need to change the user schema every time. Easier to shard or scale out specific services when needed. Cleaner microservice responsibility. In the design, players collection. Each player documents has user ID field. Plays or playbooks collections. Each playbook has user ID. Teams collection. Each team has user ID. Each other future stuff. Same stuff. Reference user ID. If you need all of your user stuff, you make several service calls or batch queries by user ID. Visual example, user account, email username, other global user settings, player service, user Small extra tip, if you anticipate fetching lots of data at once for a user logs in and you need to show all players, plays, teams quickly, you could maintain a lightweight summary document per user, just basic counts or recent item IDs. Final answer. Move ownership of the user collection to your user accounts. Store players, playbooks, and other items in their services, each linking back via user ID. No, I'll do that in I'll do that in the UI or in my Copilot. But thanks anyway. Do you have anything particular that brings that kind of thing on, man? You just stressing about life causing issues? I know you were saying before you had different you were having the same kind of issue. I won't mention it right now, but sometimes working on a PC can get your brain wound up, especially if you're spending a lot of time looking at news. News can really stress a person out. I'm telling you. I stay away from news. I don't like it. I don't like news. Like I said before, I was telling this treasure rat yesterday, listening to me complain about what I think about the news. I don't remember when it was. But I don't like to watch it because it just stresses me out. Because I can't do anything about it, so why? So if it ain't fun news, sports, or entertainment, I don't want to know. It's hard to be the happy-go-lucky guy you see before you if I'm stressing out about the world's events that I can't do anything about. There's so many people out there who just let things make them angry. Yeah, I can see that. If you're just always on the computer, you do got to get up every now and then. At the very least, you got to make a habit of like when I'm doing work on the computer. One, you see, I digress. I'll stop and just start talking to the camera. Or you got to break it up. You got to get up and walk away. Just say, hey, you know what? I'm gonna disappear for an hour or two. Just go do something, even if it's only 45 minutes. Sometimes I've actually, like at night, you see me come back sometimes like late, like 9:30. It's because I go upstairs and I just sit down with my wife. We eat dinner. I watch TV. Don't do anything else. I just drain my brain. I just do something mind numbing. Like I'll even paint sometimes. I got some paints upstairs. get a hobby that lets you relax. That's kind of cool. If you don't mind painting, a lot of people think painting miniatures is really hard. You get better at it. It really isn't that hard. Um, I'm not an artist. I've already told you that, and you've probably seen that I'm not the most visually creative guy in the world. But you just it just gives you your brain can relax because it lets go of all the technical jargon. Artistic items, even if you're not good at it, still just lets your brain decompress. So if you have something that lets you be creative, it uses a different part of your brain, and all that stuff that really stresses out your head can kind of let go. You'll actually find I've learned that if you like Audible books, you'll find that you need the same part of your mind to do work on a computer or focus as you do when you're listening to Audible books. So you can't listen to an Audible book and work because you won't hear most of it. You'll miss most of it. But if you're doing something artsy, some people like to get those coloring books, those pencil coloring books, adult coloring books as they call them, because it's one of the easier things to do. Some people like to paint, some people like to do other stuff. But if you take those things, you can do stuff like listen to Audible books, just like you can listen to music. You can do a lot of things that actually relax you, and paint. So it basically lets your brain shift and just let go of the things that stress you out. I really like. I'm telling you, it's great. When I'm sitting there painting for an hour or two, my brain just lets go of it all. Right? I can just move on. It's kind of almost a little bit like the other day when I was really focused on something and Nintendo was here, and I just stopped and said, "Forget this," and I went and played a game for 45 minutes. I stayed online, but I was just playing a game because it lets you decompress. You're no longer focusing on something, and your brain can get over those stresses that kind of make you nervous or afraid of whatever. So, well, you're not probably going to damage your brain looking at this stuff. It can get your brain running and going in a bad direction, though. Well, you got to get your workouts in, man. I am a strong proponent of exercise. And as you know, I've mentioned many times, I work out every morning except Saturdays. But exercise can just do wonders. I do it every day. Even sometimes it's crappy. I'll spend 3 hours doing 20 minutes of exercise because I'm working and exercising and I don't get as much done as I should. But I do like to go out every now and then and run 5 or 6 or 7 miles. I have a bike back here and a treadmill, and I do a variety of things. I go to the gym and swim. I like to box. I'll box on the bag once or twice, once a week, or if I can make time for it. But these are all things that you can do. Give yourself some variety. It gets that adrenaline out. Gets the endorphins flowing, and it really helps, man. You know what? It's actually good for a cold. I'm telling you, if you think you have a cold coming on or any kind of head congestion crap, this is for the world. Go do a good, intense cardio workout. Go run for however long it takes for you to work up a good sweat and get tired, which will probably be pretty fast because you have a cold, so you're probably not 100%. If you're in good shape, it takes a little longer, but it's actually good. If you can get a good 45 minutes of intense workout. And so maybe if it's even on a bike where it's just moderate, but you want to get that sweat going. You'll find your head clears up and you are good for probably more than half the day. And I've also noticed that my colds, they clear out fast within a few days. If I get one, I mean, I don't get them very often, but when I do, I tend to be able to fight them off pretty fast with intense exercise. Yes, it can be hard to start because a cold usually has you feeling a little drained, a little out of energy. Take your pre-workout, drink a Coke, drink a coffee, drink something that has some caffeine kick, and put in a good, intense 45-minute workout. And once you come down from that, you're going to find your head is clear and you just feel sharp. That's been my experience anyway. That's it's kind of off the topic a little bit, but not really, because it really just does a lot for you. Those endorphins just make your brain feel sharper. Hey, and guys, I know you guys are all young people, and if I was still a young pup, I'm not old, but I'm not I'm not a teenager anymore or in my 20s. Um, Take naps. And I don't mean naps like an hour, 2 hour, 3 hour naps. I'm talking 10-minute, 15-minute. If you feel, everybody feels this because I felt it. I remember when I was younger, I used to feel this and I would just power through it. I'd go get me a Coke. I'd go get me something to wire myself up a little bit and I'd push right through it and it would be really hard and I'd just be, have you ever sat there at a computer or at work or doing whatever and you're just tired. You just feel sleepy. Like you just want to do nothing and you can't do anything. And sometimes you just sit back and you're just tired because you stayed up too late, you did something, you're just out of it. But you know what people do when they're young? They kind of just say, screw it, I'm going to drink a Coke, I'm going to drink a coffee, I'm going to just drink. I'm going to try to power through this. And their brain is just fog and a mess. And yeah, eventually you might ramp back up after an hour or 2 or 3. Dude, go out to your car, go up to your bed, go out to your couch, set an alarm for 10, 15 minutes. I recommend 12. The reason I say 12 is because it gives you 2 or 3 minutes to actually fall asleep for a minute. The goal is nothing more than letting yourself doze off for a few minutes. Really, just a few minutes. You doze off. You wake back up. So a lot of times you'll wake back up because you can't sleep, something, whatever. But you can always tell too. I always ask yourself, did I just dream of something weird? Something that I wasn't thinking about? Like, I don't know, just out of the blue, you're walking through a field or you think of, like 1 second you're thinking about the work you have to do and the next you're thinking of walking down the street with your dog. I don't know. It's just something that's totally not part of your thought process. That's usually your sign that you dozed off. You fell asleep. It's quick. It's a flash. You just stop and think, yeah, that wasn't in my mind before I fell asleep or before I lied down. That means you got that bump. And then you might feel a little tired still, but you'll notice your head is clearer. Your body might be a little tired, but you get up, get that energy going again, and you'll find your head is clear. 10 to 15 minutes, your head is clear. I promise. You'll get to work and you will be back to running at pretty much full steam within, that 15, 20 minutes. Versus pushing through it for 2 hours, trying to find a way to ramp your body back up. And getting low productivity for a long time, staying awake, or just letting yourself shut down for 10 or 15 minutes. You will not regret it. I promise. I promise. It's just the way it works. If I had known back in the day, I'd have been like, why did I not do this before? Why did I not do this before? I missed out on some good days of work. Because I'd be like so tired and I'd be like, how come I can't get through today? I don't want to. I just want to go home. If I'd have known, I could have went out to my car and crashed for 15 minutes to take a break. Most companies don't care if you take a break. Go out to your car, crash. Don't do it in the office because, falling asleep at your chair with your manager there probably still doesn't look good. But go out to your car, crash in your car for 15 minutes, and you won't regret it. I promise. I don't know anybody who's ever taken power naps and said, oh, that was stupid. No, trust me. Unless you got some stickler jerk work guy who's going to come up to you and go, why are you sleeping in your car? It's my break. 42 hours, yikes. Yeah, I don't know that I've ever gone 40 plus hours. Yeah, that's a long time. I think I have done around 30, 36 hours. Sometimes you get on a task. I work when I'll be programming. And I would just start going and I would start, I start at 5 a.m. and then I'd work all the way through the night and then I'd crash around 1 p.m. or something. You know, so it's 30 plus hours. I've done that a few times, but 40's a lot. 40's a lot. Your phone keyboard is broken? Your screen is broken. Probably not your phone's keyboard because it's digital, right? Unless you're using a BlackBerry. It's probably your screen that's damaged. The sensitivity on your screen is dead. Have you tried to reboot it? Sometimes. Depends on the phone, I guess. But I hate when people tell me, did you reboot it? It's like, yes, I rebooted it. Oh, it just makes your words up. Yeah, well, that's the ghost of most phones. They write whatever they want. Auto correct or auto type. I call it auto type. I don't know if it's auto correct. It just puts in whatever it wants. I also have hands that think for themselves. They don't always listen to my brain. I'll be typing out a sentence and I'll look down and going, that's not what I said. What are you guys doing? Come on, guys, get in sync, man. Type what I'm telling you to type. It's like I'll be zipping along and I'm like, my hands don't know the difference in there. So if they're there, or there, it will type whichever one it feels like. I'll be reading along. I was like, no, we're not going over there. This is their keyboard. This is their thing. Come on, hands. Do you know the difference? My hands always like to put a T on the end of no. So if I say there is no this or that, it's there is not this or that. I just always do. A lot of times my hands will spell no, N-O, instead of K-N-O-W. And that, again, is not me. I'm just typing. I'm just... And then I go back and review it. And I'm like, wait a minute. What are you guys trying to get past me? Yeah, my hands do their own thing. It's even worse when you bring in autocorrect and it does whatever it wants. 450. I haven't sent this command through. All right, let's finish sending this command through structs. But we'll be located in the playbook service. All right, so let's... all right, so this will require new backend functionality. I'm going to change this again based on this new thought. 3. Move user collection struct. Oh. This is going to be awkward. I don't know. This could be major. I'm worried about this. This could cause me some consternation. But I think my user collection is too big to be in the players. Because I could actually do stuff like your collection could be your everything. It could be your teams, your players, your plays. Yeah, I want to turn that into a master object. So it should probably be in the user account. User collection to the user account service. This is going to be big. I don't know, man. User collection will be holding more than just players owned by the user. I think I may have to map this out some. Because the user collection needs to be the... gotta have the user ID. If I need... You know what? User collection struct might not need to exist in the way that it does. I don't know. Do I need... The user collection could go get the collection players. Does the collection need to have a list of all of the... I don't think I need to go both ways, right? I don't need to have it both be in the user collection. The user ID doesn't need to exist in both places. If I just have the collection players and then it attaches to the collection ID, why do I need to have the user ID? Because the collection, the user collection will have the user ID. And then the collection players would just have the collection ID. And therefore we don't need to have... So all of my collection players... I'm afraid I'm going to break stuff. I'm probably going to break stuff. How many places is this referenced? How many places does this even exist? User collection. The PB and the proto. So referenced in a few places. Players, store, and types. I mean, think about it. If you stay up for 42 hours, but you took 15-minute naps every few hours, you're probably going to get through that 42 hours a lot better. Except probably around hour 38, you won't wake up after 15 minutes. probably never get to the 42-hour point. You know, that's a lot of times what doctors and stuff are doing, right? They go crash in their little nursing room or doctor resting room or whatever it is. They could get woke up 15 minutes in, but they're functioning better just because they got little amounts of sleep. Their brain is at least getting a chance to reset. They may need more often resets, but they get through it. They get to whatever they need to do, and then they go get, you know, whatever sleep they can. And they just keep doing that. That's how they get through those monster shifts where you always hear of them go for. I have had bad schedules in and out of my life, but I've avoided companies that try to give me crappy jobs. I don't work on Saturdays. I just don't do it. General. I mean, okay, I try never to work on Saturdays. And I've generally told whoever my employer to be is that I don't work on Saturdays unless, you know, the company's in dire need of me. I'm not going to be like, if the system crashes or they need some yes, I will jump in and do my thing. And I have worked on Saturdays, but if they're going to expect me to do it like regularly, then I'm like, not interested. Thanks. I'm not going to take a job that does that, because that's just not what I do. I don't believe that you should work every day. You need to take time off. You need to have time to decompress. And I just feel like God had it right when he said, take a day off. And he said Sabbath, and so I'm doing the Sabbath. It's not that I'm Jewish. I'm not Jewish, by the way. I just feel like he has a reason for these things, and it's not just about doing what he tells you. God has a reason for everything, man. All the stuff in the Bible, he's got a reason for it. Like pork. Why would he pick pork and say, you can't eat this? It's because generally pork is not good for you. I mean, a lot of the reasoning, especially back in the day in the Old Testament, we didn't know how to clean meat very well. And pork, because of the way that they process their, the way pigs process their food, was unclean, literally unclean. It was unhealthy food. And and he said, don't eat this stuff. And animals like it. So he had this list of animals you don't eat. It's not just because God said, I like these animals more. I don't care if you eat the other ugly animals. It's not what he was doing. I guarantee it. God had something else in mind there than just saying that these are yucky, you know. God knew why he didn't want you eating it, is because it was bad for you. It was not good. Same with all of the bottom feeding fish. That's why he said don't eat that stuff. And he named other animals and things that he don't want you eating, because it was bad. The stuff they ate was bad. The way they processed their food was bad. It was bad for you. And so yeah, in the New Testament, people go, well, you don't have to follow these rules anymore because Jesus, forgave all that, and you don't have to follow these. They're not arbitrary rules. God didn't just say do it because I said so. He's got a reason for it. He picked those things because they suck. Yes, our day and age, we're a little bit better at cleaning that stuff up and making it a little safer. A little. But why? Why risk it? So I don't eat that stuff either, because I think he had a reason. It's not because I'm Jewish and I'm worried about my food being all, holy and righteous. I figure he's got a good reason. And I'm like, all right, that makes sense. I'm not going to eat it. So I stopped eating pork. I used to love pork. Ham is delicious. A honey baked ham on Easter. Oh, that's some good stuff. But I'm also not like, if I go to someone's house for dinner and I don't tell them what I eat and what I don't eat, and they make me something like pork, I'll eat some. I mean, you got to be a good guest, right? And they made it for you. They weren't trying to go against your eating habits. They didn't know. It doesn't hurt me any generally. It's not going to cause me issues. So I'll eat it if I have, if that's what's available. And that's one of the things that I believe it was John who said, you're trying to avoid these foods, fine, but if you go somewhere and your host gives you something that's on the docket that's not normally what you eat, don't be a bad guest and say, I'm not eating that. Just eat it. It's blessed. It was given to you in good conscience, and it's probably fine. Say your prayers over your food. Enjoy. But that's just the way I see it. Hey, again, I'm not trying to get anybody to jump on the bandwagon with me. Do what you will. If you're not, if you're not into Bible knowledge or speak, don't worry about it. I'm just telling you what I think, and that's my take on the whole thing. But so I even have family who still make ham every Easter, and although I also have a wife who knows I don't eat pork, and so she generally makes me something else and takes it with us as a dish that we share with everybody, which is really nice that she does that for me. But so I'll eat whatever she makes, chicken or whatever. And but even so, I've gone over there and they made dinner and it was pork, and I was like, I'll eat a little bit of pork because I know they're not doing it intentionally. She just forgets, whatever. So I don't worry about it. Anyway, it's I don't even know where I was going with this, but ultimately it came down to, we're just talking about what you eat that's healthy for you and what's good for you and what you're doing to keep healthy. And pork is known to be bad. So I have my own little things. Everybody's got their thing, right? I got my Sabbath thing and my pork thing, and I don't do it because of Judaism, but because I feel like God had a reason. And I'll tell you what, taking a hard and fast break every week, Saturdays. I mean, not to say I never do anything that's work-ish. Like, I'm not one of those people who will sit around and say, I'm not going to get up, I'm not going to turn on lights, I'm not going to make food for myself, I don't do that stuff. But I do kind of try to keep it to a minimum. I try not to go out and do something where other people have to work for me. So I don't usually go out to eat. I have done it late at night on Saturday because I kind of treat Friday night to Saturday night as that rest period. And then Saturday night is, you know, it's a new day. But I don't, overall, I like to think that it's just good to have that break. I will go play tennis if a friend, I will go play games or athletic endeavors that are kind of work if they're not working out. In other words, I won't go to the gym. I won't go practice tennis. I won't go practice stuff just to get better at it, because that to me is just, you know, it's work. It might be fun, but it's work. But if somebody wants to go out and play a game of basketball or go play tennis or flag football, I love playing flag football when I can find me a game. It's just, those things are fun. And I consider that to be relaxing because it clears the brain. It lets you get some of that adrenaline going, the endorphins flowing, a little bit of a competitive push, and yeah, you get a little exercise from it, but that's not the primary purpose. So I'm okay with doing that kind of stuff. But again, I don't like to make people work for me. Like if somebody comes over and I'm going to hire someone to, I don't know, replace the roof or do siding for me or do some kind of work around my house, I won't let them come on Saturday. I tell them, can we do it on Sunday? Can we do it on Monday? Can we do it on Friday? Any other day of the week? They said, well, I'm available Saturday. It's like, nah, we don't have to do it Saturday. Let's not do it Saturday. Because I feel bad making them work on a Saturday. Yeah, they might want the work. They may be glad to have the work. But I don't, I feel like they shouldn't be working, and I don't want it to be my fault that they're working. Now, it's different a little bit with restaurants because those people are at work already. It's like, what are you going to do? If you don't go, they're still at work. They're still working. It's like, what are you going to do? They're still doing it, whether you show up or not. Doesn't mean I do it. I try not to do it most of the time. I have gone out because whatever, they're already, you know, I don't overthink it too much. But so if something comes up and I go out to eat, fine. But I don't plan for it or do it on purpose. So so I'm not hard and fast, but that's kind of how I try to live my life. Again, everybody's got their thing. And those are some of mine. So now you know some of my things. You can go, this guy's weird, man. He won't eat pork. I know you guys already said you don't like pork either, but it's not just about liking, though. I do like pork. I mean, I used to love me some pepperoni pizza. I used to love the all-you-could-eat meat pizzas with sausage and pepperoni and beef. All the meats, you know, I like the meats. I love me some good solid steak. And my pizzas now have steak and chicken on, steak, chicken, or beef on them. At least two of those three. Usually chicken and beef. And pineapples. Yes, I like pineapples on my pizza. There's a lot of people like, ooh, pineapple. And those people are weird. If you're one of those people, shame on you. Do you know there's actually New York style pizza places that won't feed you pizza with pineapple? They said, don't ask for pineapple. We don't sell pineapple. Pineapple doesn't belong on pizza. It's okay. I don't like New York style pizza anyway. Blech. My pizza should not be floppy. I don't like floppy pizza. Unless it's cheap pizza. Cheap pizza is floppy because it's floppy. It's just cheap. But New York style pizza is not cheap and it's floppy. I'm going to pay Nutella on a pizza? No. Really? Nutella on a pizza? Are you talking about dessert pizza? Do you throw some honey on there and some jelly too? Nutella on a pizza? That's unusual. Look at that. It's 5:08. You guys are probably like going, he is just really blathering on today. Blather, blather, blather. Is he going to do any work today? Move user collection struct to the user account service. All right. You know what? I'm not going to move the user collection struct. I'm going to move it, just not right now. I think that needs to be done later. I'm not going to do this. Just create create. I'm not going to create a user collection though for the plays. I'll link to that later. Create a user plays struct. This will have play IDs, user ID. What else will I have? I don't know. What else do I need in players? Play ID, user plays. Oh yeah. Play stats. And then we're going to have a play stat struct. Also a play stat struct that will store play information such as usage, player mastery, player mastery, a percentage based on number of players on ooh, do I have to have play? Ooh, user plays. Hmm. 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 I got some more thinking to do. Pizza full of sweet things. Well, there is dessert pizza. You can get yourself the cinnamon twirl dessert pizza, and then put whatever you want on it. What other sweet things is there? I mean, short of being a dessert pizza, if you're just doing a regular pizza, I have seen pizzas with like pineapple. Well, obviously that's one, but I think I've seen other companies have made like weird pizzas that have like tangerine on them or other kinds of fruits on the pizza. It's weird, but I've seen it. Not like really. It's like the little baby orange slices. Instead of pineapple, you're getting little orange slices. Um, Tomatoes, which can be a little sweet. That's kind of a thing too. I love tomatoes on pizza. My kids don't like tomatoes, but I don't mind them. I don't always put them on because I don't like paying all the different prices for all. You know, you pay $1, $2 per topping. Beef and chicken and pineapple already makes it $6, right? So it gets to be pretty expensive when you start adding a bunch of stuff. But I like to add jalapenos and green peppers if I'm really feeling like I'm going for it. Jalapenos and green peppers are my next two options. And I have been known to occasionally go with adding something like tomatoes or something. But yeah, generally I will go with the beef, chicken, and pineapple are my three base items. Oh gosh. I keep trying to map this out. Okay, so look, this is my problem right now, and I think I might have to, before I can implement this, I think I need to come up with my collection. Let's go like this. I'm going to call this one collection. Collection. User collection. And layout. We'll call this one layout. So here's the problem. Hold on, I'll be right there. All right, so when I do this, so I need to have it be something like this. So I have my user account, which has all of my user IDs. But then I need to have something like the user collection, which right now is in the players, which is in the player service, which is a bad strategy, right? It's not where you want it generally. And it's only because at the time I had only had players in a user's collection. But now I have to do something like I have to have things that are going to go out to the players service, and then I have the game plan, and then I have the playbook. And right now, the only things I currently... why is that not syncing up? Sync faster, you. Sync faster. So, because in the game plan, you have the user's game plans. You have their players. So the playbook is going to have, like... see, I also have... in my user account, I also have I think my structure is just bad. I don't know how to spell teams, by the way. Teams. So we have the user teams, and in those teams we have all the players that a user can have, but we also have the teams that can have the players also, and they also have a playbook, and the teams also have a game plan. So the hierarchy needs to be set up in such a way that it's a little bit more traceable. Why is this not synchronizing? Why are you being a jerk? Well, it's being difficult. Why are you not refreshing? Usually this is pretty fast, but of course right now it's not going to be. Hello. What is the problem? What do you mean you can't find my notebook? My service? I'm up and running. We'll try again later, whatever the heck that means. So, let's see. Okay, well, that's what I'm drawing. This is what it's supposed to be showing you in the other screen. even though whatever reason it is not, because it's being dumb. Can I close this and expect it to be any more responsive? Oh, there it goes. Now I'm in two different places. Let's see if either one of these works faster now. I don't know if it will. Okay, so I'm trying to come up with the best linear output. So we got user account, and then we got the user collection. I'm starting to wonder if I shouldn't have it be something like user collection being like the top of everything, right? It's the everything you have object. This is everything you've built. But the thing is, teams aren't really something you collect. I mean, you can have more than one team, but it's not your collection. Your collection is the stuff you get, like players, generally cards. You're getting cards, right? You're getting the representation of the objects that are you're going to use throughout the game. Teams, you can have more than one team, but you still build it off the same collection. So teams are, you know, they're a separate thing you have. You can have, generally you only have one, but if you're a person who buys another team, you can have two teams or three teams or whatever, but you're building it off the same collection. And that collection grows and does whatever it does, but you're going to have things that belong to you. But a team, so it's kind of like user collection. Let's shrink this and make it more friendly. No, not user collection. Let's change this. Let's try this again. We'll go user account. Service. Should I write in a foreign language and write in cursive? Nobody knows how to write cursive anymore. I should write it just to throw everybody off who's looking at this. I don't know if my cursive is any faster than my regular. But we have user collection, and we have user teams, and we have in here we have like things like players, plays, nope, can't write because I don't know what I'm actually writing. Other cards. I don't call them cards, but that's what they're going to be, cards. User teams point to playbooks. And then we got players, plays. There's more of that too. So there's a lot of like overlap, right? So when you're in a play collection, like let's say for example, we're working with the playbook right now. So if I'm doing the playbook, will have user plays, team plays. No, that doesn't work. So the playbook has to have the user plays in it, but the playbook only needs team plays, because nope. Is there even team plays? Do team plays? Team don't have plays. Team has a playbook that has. So really, the user teams might have a team ID. So the team ID goes there. We'll also have the user ID, because that's going to be the map that connects them. But does user collection have multiple playbooks? No, you're going to have one playbook per team. So you might have a playbook on the user team, but it won't be in the collection. And then we have to have another one over here that's players. And this will have a team ID, or team players. Team players. Boink. What do we do? Team players. So we got user teams. We'll have team players. Players will have team. Do I have coming up with a good strategy of getting to all these things. Like the collection is everything you have. So it's all your players, your plays, cards, anything that you collect. And these are the things you own. They are what's available to your other parts. But I'm wondering if you need to have any traction for the collection itself. Players might have their own advancing stuff, but it's just what they are. Team players. Team players define what user they are, but I think I want a user ID. I think I have a user ID in this too. This way I can like collect all the players that a user owns straight up without having to go through the team ID. And do I go by user ID or do I go by user collection ID? Everywhere I have a user ID, I could be using user collection. And if user collection is 1-to-1, it really doesn't matter. I can just go by user ID. But what that makes is my user ID kind of go roundabout. It makes it go like something like you get this. Which is a weird way to connect that. And if I use collection ID, I don't need user ID. But it would allow it to be more fluid. And if the cards have to be in the collection anyway, and they're going through your collection, they're not really going through your user account. Your user account owns the collection. User account owns the collection. Therefore, this should be a collection ID, not a user ID. Well, no, that's user ID because that's a playbook. It's not in the collection. Playbooks aren't in collections. Playbooks are associated to teams. Players and plays can go into a collection. In fact, everything players goes through a collection. Just done right done. So you don't even need a user ID in that thing at all. So you would look at the user collection to grab all the plays a player owns. You would look at the user collection to grab all the players a user owns. And the playbook, we also have plays. This is a playbook service. And then this is plays. And then we have in the plays we have a collection ID. Because this would connect back to there. Because you get plays, they belong to a collection. Playbook goes to the user, but do they even have to go through a user? Because if you go through a team, you don't need a user account there either, because it goes through the team ID. So these are all connected through means that attach them to the collections they belong in. So this is collection ID. This is also going to go here. Let me see if I can get rid of this. And then the players also have, well, I have team players. Team players also goes in here, but that's kind of like team players. That's going to be like this box. What a mess. It's complicated. It's a lot of stuff that has to be handled here, and you got to get it as fluid as possible so that your code, when it's running, can actually function, getting the stuff you need in as short a trip as possible. And so building the structure that's going to connect everything the way it needs to be connected is kind of a thing. And so that means I need to kind of do some restructuring, I think, before I create my playbook, because my playbook has to have its reference to the plays, and those plays need to be in the collection, and the playbook needs to have a user team ID, which I have already. No, I don't think I have a team ID. I think the playbook just has a user ID, which doesn't make sense. Really, if you think about it, nothing about the playbook is connected to the user account directly, because there's no reason for it to be. If you don't have a team, you don't have a playbook, period. The only way you get more than one playbook is having more than one team, because every playbook has a team. Now, you can have singular plays, and those get added to the playbook, but your collection will disperse amongst all your teams, amongst all your whatevers. So same with thing. You have your plays, you have your players, all in your collection. They get distributed to your playbooks and your game plans and whatever else you have, which I didn't actually put game plan in here, but that's all right. That's part of the team route. So yeah, I think I'm getting an idea of how I want this. I think we're getting closer. I mean, ultimately, I also have game plan over here. So we go here. We have game plan. And then game plan here will have a team ID as well. And you're like, why didn't you do all this before? I'll tell you why. Because when I started designing this thing, I didn't know. See, you know, when you work for a software company, they always want you to do things like plan out the whole thing in advance. It's really hard to do that until you start seeing all the parts come together. What do you need? How do they need to function? And you can do it. It just becomes very complex because you don't know the minor intricacies that are going to be involved until you start to develop it. And that's how big software works. You got to really just break it down into parts, get each part and function working. And eventually when they start sticking together, you may have to advance them or complete or break parts out. And that's what I'm doing now. I got to take a break, guys. I'm gonna take a dinner break. I will be back tonight. I'm gonna try to see if I can restructure this at that time. But if not, tomorrow. Till next time. Hey, it was cool talking to everybody about all the variety of things. Adisky, I hope you're feeling better, man. I hope you you can avoid these terrible panic attacks and what do you call it? Bad schedules and whatever else that are keeping you up at night. And I hope you start feeling better. Nintendo,